everybody. Welcome to Snodgrass Chevy Restorations down here in Melbourne, Florida. I'm Mike. My brothers Dave and Kenny are in the office sitting there, and I'd love to take you in the showroom and show you what we've been up to for about the last 1,800 hours, 6-7 months there. We've got a special project that I think you're going to truly fall in love with. As you see here, this 1955 Chevrolet there, two-door hardtop Bel Air. It was a special day on November 23rd, 1954. GM's 50 millionth car. As you see right off the top, is all the bright work on the car is actually 24 karat gold plated. Everything from the inside to the outside, all chrome, all stainless, is 24 karat gold plated, and that's the way it came off the assembly line for GM's 50 millionth car. And open up the hood. We'll go down. As you remember, in 1955 was the first time that they created a V8. This is the early model, a 1954 V8. As you see with a regular 55, we'd have an oil filter system here. Being an early build here, first GM built V8, there is no oil filter. We can come all the way here to the radiator support, and we see that we have some support brackets here that came in only on the early models. Panels here were cut at 45s to sit there and be able to adapt into these models. Had special stampings right here on the radiator support. We can move back over here into the back of the battery there and the starter harness and everything, and the battery harness is routed behind the battery, and there's no firewall clips here on the firewall. Once again, just certain small key features that sit there and designate between an early 1955 build and then a mid-year 55 build. And between GM's archives and everything, we have turned around and tried to put everything back to exactly the way she came off the assembly line in 1954. As we sit there and take a walk around the car, once again, it's 55 two-door Bel Air hardtop. As you see, anywhere you look, any of the bright work, and we keep explaining the bright work, that would have been all stainless, all chrome, inside and outside, even all the way down to the hubcaps, is 24 karat gold plated. We're going to gap the car. We've got the car just as tight and as clean and as nice as we could there. It's what we do here at Snodgrass. As we see, the flippers, everything through the C-pillar post, everything in here is 24 karat gold plated. And then we open up the door. It had a one-off interior for this GM 50 millionth car back in 1954. The one-off interior was a little tough for us to find there because there's just, back in them days, most of the pictures were black and white. GM Archives was kind enough to allow us to go in there, and through our historian of Steve Blades, he was able to sit there and dial the interior and the patterns and the colors down just about where we absolutely believe that's what was in it. Everything you see on the dash, once again, anything that was stainless, anything was chrome, anything at all that was bright work on the car is 24 karat gold plated. It was such a huge milestone for GM back in that day to sit there and hit that 50 millionth milestone that they just went above and beyond on this particular build down that assembly line that day. This was a one-off color, and we sat there and matched the best that we could to believe in our opinion what exactly that was at that time. There was no markings, there was no paint codes or anything, because it's a one-off color for this one car. So I think we hit it pretty good with the contrast between the color and the gold plating itself there. We believe this is about exactly what you would have looked back in 1954. As we open up the trunk, what you'll see is a little bit different. Everything's original for a 1955, but as you see here, when we build original cars and the way they would have came off the assembly line was we would have had stickers here for the tires, we'd have had jacking instructions over here on the sidewalls. GM at this car, or for this particular build, sat there and had no documentation of stickers of any kind on the motor, here in the trunk, zero jacking instruction, zero tags on the radiator. It was just a special build that day on 1954. Through a lot of help through Steve Blades, our historian out of Kentucky, he's been able to find a few special pieces on the car that was actually, a lot of people might not know, but was actually a part of true Bel Air history. Not just for the gold car, but for true 55 Bel Air history. And there's a few pieces that actually, on a regular, everyday 1955 Bel Air, there would have been a gold-plated crest, a gold-plated crest here on the horn ring, and then over on the clock, the Bel Air script would have been gold-plated that you would have got there from a dealership back in 1955. Once again, through a lot of work and diligence there, Steve Blades was able to come up with that. And so couple of those pieces right there are actually NOS pieces there that we've been able to utilize on this car, which there's so much more NOS also on the entire car for the tribute car itself. I hope you enjoyed what we've showed you, and there's a few things that we've been able to talk about this 50 millionth tribute car from GM. Come watch us. We're going to sit there and debut the car in March 1st through 4th in Detroit Autorama of 2024. They're in Detroit, and we'd love to see y'all. You can also follow us on GM 50 millionth Facebook page there. What a humongous amount of information and history that we've not even hardly touched today, other than just sitting there and looking at the final build. Once again, us here at Snodgrass Restorations, we just want to say thank y'all, and looking forward to meeting each and every one of you.